So guys, we are now just over 6 weeks away from the launch of Renegades, and with that new expansion is most likely going to come a whole load of new weapons and gear that you should be farming for. But before then, we obviously have a whole load of currently available pieces of gear and weapons that you should be getting, so that's what we're going to be covering here today, going over items that you should definitely be getting before Renegades releases. Now, first things first here, due to the leveling changes that just went live this week, I'm highly going to recommend that everybody, before you start farming out for these things, at least get to around 450 to 470 power, because that will then enable you to get guaranteed tier 5 versions of these pieces of loot. Now, for weapons, getting to tier 5 doesn't really matter, because if you get a tier 3 or tier 4 version, that can come with enhanced perks and multiple perks. If you get a god roll, doesn't really matter. You're mainly wanting tier 5 versions of armor because they come with overall higher stats. With that said, let's now jump into the first thing that I'm highly recommending everybody go and farm out for, and that is a tier 5 complete set of the smoke jumper armor set. This I believe can come currently from solo ops and fireteam ops, and is definitely the major thing that I recommend everybody farm out for, mainly for its insanely strong 2-piece stat bonus called Ride Together, Die Together, where when you pick up an orb of power, you gain a brief period of rapidly decaying damage reduction. Now I believe this damage reduction only lasts for about 3 seconds, but it starts off at 45% damage reduction, which is absolutely insane for just picking up an orb of power. And you can generate orbs from weapon defeats. On warlocks, you can generate orbs very easily with your buddies now, but also grenades, melees, your supers. You can generate orbs very easily, so getting damage reduction from picking those up is just literally the best, honestly, set bonus you can have in the game right now. So I'm highly going to recommend that everybody farm out an entire set just so that you can have the freedom of choice to build craft into at least getting the 2-piece set bonus. If you want to run the whole 4-piece, you can, but it only grants you the too old for this bonus, where defeating a powerful combatant with a finisher grants you special ammo progress and replenishes a small amount of health. Not really all that great. You're mainly wanting the set for the 2-piece, and then you can probably pair it with a Bushido set to get that health on fully reloaded weapons. But overall, the 2-piece here is a must get before Renegades goes live. Now, alongside the armor, let's now talk some weapons, the first of which is going to be the 2 exotic weapons that came out with the Ash and Iron updates. The first one being the new Malpace, which is the Season Pass exotic rocket pulse rifle, and this thing is incredibly good. No surprise there, it's a rocket pulse rifle. All of them are good, and the only 2 that we have is this one, as well as the Mint Retrograde, which are all very good weapons. But the main reason I'm recommending you guys farm out a new Malpace is mainly because of its exotic catalyst, which you can get at level 90 of the current season pass, allowing its explosions to unravel nearby targets. So you're not only doing the insane amount of damage with just the rocket pulse itself, but you're also throwing the unravel over time damage ticks in there as well, which just makes this a very potent weapon. Now, if you do not own the current season pass, you can get the weapon at level 70 and then the catalyst at level 90, but if you do own the season pass, you'll be able to get the weapon immediately at level 1. Alongside that, if you get to 100, you can also get a nice little ornament for it, although there is another ornament coming for the weapon inside of the Call to Arms event happening in the middle of November, so keep that in mind as well. The other exotic weapon obviously is going to be the Wolf's Bane exotic axe. This thing is very potent, and if there comes a new encounter in a raid or dungeon that requires a melee weapon, this one is probably going to be the one that most people are going to be rocking. Now, if you need a full guide on how to unlock this weapon and all of its upgrades, I do have 2 separate videos going over that for the intrinsics, the first catalyst, and also the remaining catalysts as well. So I'll have those linked down in the description. But this thing is absolutely insanely strong, and would definitely recommend you guys go and grab it. Now, that said, the exotic mission shouldn't be leaving once Renegades goes live, so if you don't have access to the mission quite yet, even though it is free, or if you don't want to do it quite yet, you should be able to still do the mission and get all of the upgrades and stuff for this weapon after Renegades goes live, but I would just recommend doing it now, because you can, and there's nothing really else to do inside of the game currently. Next, let's go over some legendary weapons that you should be getting. Obviously, Callus Mini Tool, or the Mida Mini Tool, sorry, is definitely going to be the one weapon I recommend everybody go and farm for. If you're able to get at least a tier 3 version of the weapon, I believe you should be running into double perks, and this thing is absolutely insane because it can get Incandescent and Burning Ambition in that second column, and then with Hill Clip in the first column. It's honestly the best SMG in the entire game right now. So if you can farm out a version of this that has all 3 of those perks on it, you're going to be doing just fine. Now that said, there is going to be another SMG coming with the Festival of the Lost event going live next week that I also would recommend people go and farm for. Now, obviously, with the lightsaber coming out in Renegades, we don't know what that weapon is going to be it an exotic or a legendary. Most importantly, we don't know what slot it's going to be going into, be it the kinetic slot or the energy slot. So having both these SMGs is going to be great just to kind of round out that so that you can freely use the lightsaber when that comes out. But now jumping into the gun burns specific perks, obviously this is a Festival of the Lost weapon, so you're only going to be able to farm it out for the next couple of weeks while the event is live. And the main perk role that I recommend you guys go for is going to be a new perk called Bewildering Blast, where reloading this weapon after defeating a target causes the next hit to launch a kinetic projectile that detonates into a disorienting blast. That's going to be absolutely insane, but also pairing that with kinetic tremors. You're not only going to be disorienting people with Bewildering Blast, but also just dealing a whole load of AoE damage with kinetic tremors, and with it being a Viced SMG, you also have the Viced Stinger origin trait, which has a chance of reloading it as you deal damage, which is just absolutely insane. Alongside this, if you get a high tier version of it, you can also run into another new trait called Ancillary Ordnance, probably saying that wrong, doing rapid elemental final blows and final blows on targets affected by elemental debuffs, that could be Scorch, Jolt, Sever, all that kind of stuff, will periodically prepare a homing micro missile which is launched from your target after this weapon's next final blow, and multiple missiles can be prepared. Now if you have a armor set that focuses on the like micro missile or like the missile type of weapons, this will actually work with that set bonus. I can't remember what the set bonus is itself, but this is also a very good perk. Alongside that, attrition orbs is also found on this thing, so once again pairing very good with the smoke jumper set I recommended you guys farm earlier. Overall, this SMG is going to be very, very good, and it's probably the only weapon I recommend people farm out for from Festival of the Lost. Now, from the looks of it, that event isn't going to be coming with a new armor set that comes with set bonuses either, so this is literally the best thing that you guys should be farming for. Alongside that, we also have the other event called Arms coming out, and that's going to be coming with all of the weapons from the past Arms Week events. So you have things like the Terrakinus shotgun here, which is absolutely insane with chill clip. Definitely recommend farming that. And alongside that, the Synestia sword with Eager Edge, with this being the only new sword that can roll with Eager Edge. If you don't have this weapon, please, please, please go and get it for yourself, just so that you can have a much more fun experience with speedrunning certain content. With that said, I believe that is most, if not all, of the weapons and stuff that I would recommend you guys farm out for. Obviously, just some last minute reminders. If you don't have a mint retrograde by now, definitely go and get one, because it's just so good. Now, knowing Bungie, they're probably going to add in a energy version of a rocket pulse due to how many people like these weapons, so I wouldn't be completely surprised if a new version of a rocket pulse gets released in Renegades. But if it doesn't, Mint's going to be the best one there for you alongside New Mount Pace. Either one of these is going to be absolutely amazing, but I would definitely recommend getting Mint just so that you have a legendary version to not waste your exotic slot on New Mount Pace in case something better comes out. With that said though, that's everything that I have for you guys here today in this video. If you guys have any thoughts to share on what stuff you think other people should be farming out for before Renegades goes live, be sure to leave it down in the comments down below. And whilst you're there, if you enjoyed this video, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. But with that all said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.